Hello.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, but we've been playing phone Zoom tag. I'm so happy to get you on the line today.
I know.
It's been busy over there, kind of getting everything in order.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
just the beginning of it all and all of the gala night and all of the exciting stuff that comes with it. It's been very crazy over here.
Oh, that's awesome though. Like, I'm sure it's super
Yeah,
exciting. If you're
it is.
ready, I know you're limited, so we can just kind of like dive right in to everything.
Yeah, great.
All right, so I'm excited, obviously, to chat with you about all the things. Big fan of Why Am I So Single? Obviously, Six the musical.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take you back a little bit. You famously left a shift at the Theater Cafe Diner
Yep.
mid-song to play Catherine Howard as an emergency cover.
Yep.
Now that you're playing her as a principal, does that like diner dash like adrenaline still fuel your performances, or like kind of have you found a calmer queen energy?
That's an interesting question. I feel like I thankfully the Diner Dash situation was a call for Catherine Howard because I think that was the one I had done the most previously on tour. So it was the one that I actually knew the best and was most comfortable doing. So it came the easiest to me in terms of like obviously the adrenaline, the fear, the nerves, and everything that went along with that. I think had it been any other queen, it might have been 10 times scarier.
Uh-huh.
Because I did like three times the amount of hours I did everything else on tour, just the way everything worked out. Um, so I think that I I'm definitely a lot calmer now than I was on that Diner Dash situation. I think that's a given. Um, but yeah, I feel like I never forget it. It's never, it doesn't leave me.
No.
I always try and remember it, try and think about it, sometimes. Because now the one thing that I didn't have before was the repetitiveness of doing the same role every night. So that's
Mhm.
been a whole new experience for me. And sometimes I have to cast my mind back to that kind of craziness, um, to keep it fresh and alive. But yeah. It's different, but it's good.
Keeps you on your toes, right? And
It
then
does.
obviously you've recently started vlogging on YouTube.
It's
You're
true.
putting out weekly, but no commitments,
Nope.
obviously. Um,
No.
how has kind of documenting the process of kind of returning to the stage been and just like your daily activities is like what ignited that? Was that for you to check in with yourself? Was that to you just to kind of let people in on what the process is? Kind of just talk about that a little bit.
So it's interesting. I think YouTube has always been something I've been interested in doing. It's something that I share with my sister. Her and I have always loved watching vlogs and when we were younger, like makeup videos and stuff like that. And it's a lot of these things you kind of need a little nudge or like you need a little boost of confidence to do it. And my first time in six, I kind of fell into TikTok somewhat accidentally and found a love for that and grew a platform over there. And coming back, I just kind of felt like that was the nudge that I needed to develop what I was already working on and share more than just like minute long clips or 10-second clips, highlight reels. I was like, how can I step up from that and share more and just develop that whole idea, and it just felt like the right time to do it, the right time to delve in and share more in-depth parts of my day and life and fulfill that dream.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm learning. I'm still learning, still getting the hang of the editing and
Mhm.
all of that technical stuff. But yeah, so far so good.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
yeah, weekly so far. We'll see.
Right. I know you've been staying on top of it, so that's good. And I know you were
Yeah,
looking for some editing solutions a while
yeah,
back, but sometimes the simplest of things like using iMovie is just super straight to
yeah.
the point. I like to use it if I'm just doing like fast clips and stuff, but definitely
Hmm.
you can get fancier, but I think just find your groove and you're obviously doing great with that. So just keep it up.
Oh, thank you.
And then obviously every six cast has a unique chemistry. What is
Hmm.
one kind of unspoken rule or like backstage ritual that you guys have developed to stay connected during the show?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, it's so true. Every cast is so different, and I've been lucky enough to experience quite a few and kind of dip my toe into a couple of
Hmm.
their rituals. Obviously, we're still quite fresh and getting to know each other. But from the get-go, we kind of come together at the beginning of the show, before beginning of the show when we're behind the curtain. Spoiler. Um, we have a moment together just before the show starts where we all face each other and we say a word of the day, and it can be a word that is how you're feeling that day, what you're bringing to the show that day, or it can just be the first word that comes to your mind. So honestly, sometimes the words we get will be like energy, fun, food, like it's just or like random words. Just to bring us all together, we go in Queen order. We start with Aragon, regardless of who's playing it, and we go round in Queen's order with Marisha, who plays Boleyn, from rehearsals when we were trying to suss out how she would execute the sixth finger joke.
Uh-huh.
So we do a little, kind of looks like a butterfly sixth finger thing whilst we do it. Very random and slightly different to versions of the same kind of ritual I've done before with previous casts, but that's our little thing that kind of brings us together.
Yeah, that's so much fun. And if Kay Howard were to sing a song from Why Am I So Single during a karaoke night, which one do you think she'd choose and
Oh my
why?
gosh, Shush,
Yes.
the one that Oliver sings in the Pink Oh is kind of the six equivalent to Disco Ball.
Hmm.
From a creative point of view, in that it starts as this kind of big fun spectacle number and then ends with a complete shift, giving the audience a reality check. So the actual like factual answer is definitely Disco Ball, but I think if they weren't connected and weren't written by the same people, I think that Kay Howard would love Shush and
Yeah.
would be all over that kind of like energy and get because also the humor as well of like I think Kay Howard also like laughs through a really traumatic story,
Hmm.
and that's kind of what Shush is as well, is kind of like Oliver making a joke of their horrible experiences. So
Yeah.
it feels like, but also like just the pink dress and the energy of the number, definitely, I think.
That would be good. I think you should
Yeah.
make it happen during like a karaoke night.
I
Um,
know, I wouldn't put it past me.
and you spend a significant time, obviously, as an alternate for multiple queens. Which kind of queen trait or characteristic do you think has secretly bled into your current interpretation of Howard?
I think that my current interpretation of Howard is definitely very different to the one I had previously. And I think a lot of my new version has a lot of elements of previous queens and things that I've found in the show all rolled into one because it's all part of my understanding of the show. And I've said a few times now that I think doing Why Am I So Single and working closer with Toby and Lucy has helped me understand Six in a whole other way. I really thought that I understood it before, and then understanding their brains and what they're trying to working with them one on one, I'm like, oh my God, I get it so much more. I understand the humor a bit better. I understand what they're trying to do with it, and so I think that there's a little bit of a lot of what I learned from playing them all before incorporated into what I am now doing with Howard. Um, because I think, the whole perception of the 10 among the threes and the pink one and the joy of playing that is getting to say the funny lines and be Glaswegian and be, kind of play with a lot of the things that go against the kind of stereotype of what we're playing with the whole pink thing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, and so there's maybe elements of my like Boleyn and Cleves coming in there.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, just I think it's all my current Howard is a culmination of all of what I learned the first time, plus what I've learned in the last 4 years, all rolled into one.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I found a whole new version.
That's good. And obviously,
Yeah.
audience react differently to like regional accents.
hmm
In Six, like now that you're kind of getting settled in the West End, do you find yourself leaning more into like other accents besides your own among the London crowds, or you're just like, this is me, I'm sticking with this.
Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, I was literally just saying on my vlog the other day that sometimes I feel like my accent gets neutralized a little bit in different settings. When you have like a phone voice, and I'm probably doing it right now, just to be understood and,
Yeah.
like just to articulate as you do. But I think that I've found a place with my accent for performing that is articulate and, pronounced enough that it can be well understood in general. Like obviously we're in the West End, we're in London, so a lot of our audiences come from all over the world. They're tourists, they've come to London to visit. Maybe
Mhm.
English isn't their first language, so I'm very conscious of, people might have never heard a Glaswegian accent and my character and where I come from, but also being are understandable enough so that everybody gets the story that we're trying to tell, because there's no
Yeah.
point in being hilarious if they don't have any clue what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's finding a balance, but I'm definitely leaning into Glaswegian as much as I can,
Yeah.
because that's my version of it, and they cast me with my accent, so I
Uh-huh.
I like to bring it to the
And
front.
yeah, and obviously I think that's how you should play it. Obviously
Hmm.
I'm from the US, so I had to wait a lot, a long time to have Six come to the
Yeah.
US. I had obviously seen, clips of it from the UK, but I definitely
Hmm.
think that a little bit of the story gets lost without the accents. Like, being in America,
Really?
like I would prefer like obviously the original like cast recording from the UK, but
Mm.
it definitely it's like some of the humor and just the accents like that translate it gets lost a little bit in the US version. So I
Oh,
definitely
that's interesting.
yeah, so I mean that's my perspective. I don't know if anybody else feels the
Yeah.
same, but I feel like that's like just the humor behind it is just the
Mm,
more of the UK version,
maybe.
but definitely
I'm
my
sure we would
preference.
watch it and find it hilarious.
Right. Well, yeah, they make some choices in the US, but it's all good. I love it. I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
And then if you could take any character from a non-musical play or movie, and give them a six style pop anthem, who would it be?
Oh gosh, that's a tough question.
Uh-huh.
I feel like my mind's gone completely blank. I
That's
don't
okay.
know. I
We'll move
don't
on.
know.
It happens. Trust me. I rarely stump people, but it's okay.
All of a sudden,
Um,
I'm like, I've never seen a movie or a play ever.
you're like, what? What is a movie?
What is a film?
And we'll kind of tie it in a little bit. So your
Okay, fine.
performance of Lost and Why Am I So Single was a
Hmm.
standout emotional beat. It spoke to me because I lost my dad 3 years ago. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
compared to kind of the high, octane pop of Six, do you find it more or less challenging to hold like an audience's attention in quiet, like vulnerable moments, no matter what song you're doing?
I think that it's very different for sure. And I
Hmm.
think that especially in that context, when we have been for a lot of the show, being silly and laughing over difficult topics and kind of poking fun at them, and that's what we were trying to do, obviously commenting on, like laughing through your problems. But
Hmm.
I think in that context it was hard because there wasn't a lot of stillness in the show. Like even singing Just in Case still was like a ballad, and it was loud and still quite big production, even though it was just me on the stage. Lost, I think, was one of the only times where it was just completely still, no really any change of lighting, and we were literally just sat on the floor.
Hmm.
So I think that actually that maybe caught people's attention, but or drew people in a different way that I didn't necessarily have to do, because the song, the words, the production kind of did it for me,
Yeah.
So I was able to just tell the story, and it was something that Lucy was really passionate about, was about it just being the story and it not being too sung. So there was no like riffs or any, really rarely any vibrato actually, even on that song, because she wanted it to be just the words, the melody, the story, and nothing else. And that's why it's as plain as it was. And I think that in itself drew people's attention. I didn't really need to to do much. I
Yeah.
did the words and the music spoke for me really. But it's definitely very different.
Yeah, for
Six.
sure. You're like, oh, let me have a moment with the audience now.
Yeah.
And after kind of being a queen, a best friend, what type of character haven't you played that you would like to play? Perhaps a villain, period drama, like what are you itching to
Oh
sink your
yeah.
teeth in?
I thrive on like storytelling, comedy. Those are my favorite things to do. And if I do that for the rest of my career, I will be extremely grateful and happy.
Hmm.
Of course, it would be amazing to do something a little bit different. Like you say, a villain or something might be interesting, but I think that I'm kind of paving paving way for myself to being like the silly, funny kind of that's the pal or the
Yeah.
so who knows, but yeah, chase the story first and foremost
Uh-huh.
is my kind of
And now, if you
bad.
were to ever come over to the United States and come on Broadway, is there anything running currently that you'd want to star
Do you know what? My knowledge of what's going on over there is so diabolical. I
in?
need to do
There's so
better.
many new things. Like
I
there's
would love to do, I think if I were to come over, I'd love to do something new. I
hmm
think it would be cool to, because I'm laying my roots here as best I can.
hmm
Um, and I think for me to come over there, it would be obviously incredible and it would need to be something really cool.
Yeah, definitely
Something
originating.
originate, something new, do
Hmm.
something cool. But who knows?
Yeah, we'll put it
Who
out there
knows?
because
Put it out there, stay tuned. We'll see.
right. And like I mentioned, I obviously had to wait, years for Six to come from the UK to Broadway. So it's always like, I had a lot of enthusiasm, have a lot of
Hmm.
enthusiasm for Why Am I So Single? Still holding out hope
Me
for that as
too.
well. But if you got the call to take Nancy to Broadway or a US residency, what's like
Yeah.
one thing about her that you would fight to keep? So like not to Americanize.
I mean, I think it would depend. It would depend on who's playing Nancy and Oliver, I suppose. Like if it were to be Joe and I, then I think I think the writers on the show would fight to keep the majority of it as it
Hmm.
is.
Yep.
I think maybe because Joe and I both have quite strong accents, so I do wonder how
That's
well
what
that
would
would go
make it.
down.
I feel like you
We
guys
would
have
need
to come.
to,
You're coming. Like if it's happening,
yeah,
you're
I
coming.
mean, I think we'd obviously both jump at the chance, but
Yeah.
um, I think the beauty of it though is that, they were really keen for us to bring a lot of ourselves to the characters. And so if it weren't us that played it and if it were like someone with a different accent or even an American person, like they would encourage them to do the same. So I
Yeah.
think Nancy and Oliver are so like Scottish and Boltonian, I don't even know if that's a word, um, are so like quintessentially like from Glasgow and Bolton, but that's because of me and Joe. That's not because of Nancy and Oliver.
Yeah.
So it would just be, I imagine, just reimagined for whoever takes it on next. Because
Yeah.
even like, there are alternates, Colette and Jordan, like their versions of Nancy and Oliver were completely different.
hmm
And so the Scottishisms weren't there at all because Colette isn't Scottish. So,
Yep.
and it was gorgeous. Her version of Nancy was beautiful. So, yeah, I guess it'll take on whatever form it does
Wherever it is.
next.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's me. Hopefully
I
it
hope
does.
so.
Who
I mean, we
knows?
might have to wait a couple years for it since it seems to be delayed, but I will put it
I
out
think
there because
so.
I would jump at that. And then
Yeah.
I like to add my signature question into all of my interviews. So if
Hmm.
you were to construct a donut based on Kay Howard's personality, what kind
Okay.
of donut would it be and what toppings would be on it?
Okay, so it would definitely have a lot of pink going on. So I think maybe actually let me think. So she would be on the outside would be really pink and sparkly. So maybe like, like there's, I don't know if you guys have it over there, but in Krispy Kreme over here, there's like a pink glittery glaze they've got
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Pink sparkles on the outside.
Mhm.
Um, and maybe some like sprinkles that were like heart, like silver, like
Oh, like
flash.
chromey.
Yeah, chrome
Okay.
pink glitter, and then but it would be filled with something that you wouldn't expect. So maybe like you'd expect it to be jam, but it would be like some sort of cream or something that's not what you, or like chocolate. Do you
Chocolate,
know what I
or
mean?
like a
It's like,
ganache.
yeah, you'd look at it and go, that's definitely filled with jam. I don't know what that filling is, but
Something
not what
tasty.
you'd expect. That's what we'll say.
It's an
Yeah,
unexpected
something
surprise
lovely,
in
but
the middle.
unexpected.
And then as we start kind of winding down, obviously right now you're playing Kay Howard. You obviously
Mhm.
have played all these other characters in Six. What is your favorite song from the musical?
My favorite song in Six is I Don't Need Your Love
Oh,
by a clear country mile. I think it is so gorgeous and I love listening to it every night. I loved singing it when I got the few opportunities that I did. I love, obviously I love all the music. It's incredible, but that's something about that song, even just standing alone is just, I
yeah,
think, such a beautiful, beautiful song.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's clear answer from me.
all the songs are amazing. Clearly Lucy and
Yeah, for
Dizzy are
sure.
like need to write all the things. Um,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna stump you with my last question. Hopefully I don't,
Hmm.
but we'll see. What is one question that you never get asked during interviews that you wish somebody would ask you?
Oh, question that I never get asked that I wish someone would ask me. I feel like I've done that many interviews. I've been asked absolutely everything there is to know. I
I
feel like
know.
everybody knows everything about me. Um,
There's got to be something you're dying, like some hidden talent. You're like some
and
weird like hobby you have.
no,
No?
I don't know. I think, I don't know. Because I feel like if anybody asked me anything weird and out of pocket, I would be like,
Yeah, that's those
so I
questions.
probably wouldn't wish to be asked that. There's a lot of things no one's asked me, but I'm quite happy
You're like,
to
I'm
not.
good. We're gonna just say the things that people haven't asked you are things you don't want to be asked. So we'll leave
Yeah,
it at that.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
So in terms of, so you did you graduate during COVID times? Was that
I
the
did.
thing? Okay, so obviously, arguably the most like, the hardest year for performers, obviously. And
Hmm.
now what's kind of one piece of advice that you'd give, that person that's graduating during COVID times, now as you're starting to conquer, obviously, the West End?
I think that I think it's the same advice I would have given myself anyway. Can do anything with hard work
Hmm.
and perseverance, and I think that for me, it was always going to be a matter of time. I knew that this industry is difficult and I was always going to have to work really hard, take loads of rejection, and keep picking myself up and carrying on.
Yeah.
And I just think I always say I used to say to myself and I say to people now, it's like, there's that, infograph that's like someone knocking at a brick wall and it's
Hmm.
like they've hit 10 times. And if they gave up because they've done it 10 times, they didn't realize on the 11th was the one where they got through. And it's like, it says about me if it's good or bad. But to me, I'm always like, oh, but maybe it's this one, maybe it's the next one. And I always live with the mentality of, I'm meant to be where I am regardless, and I'm meant to learn something from this experience, be it good or bad. And it's challenging, it's hard. This industry is really hard. I've taken a lot of rejection, but it's just that it's the way, it's the path that I've been blown down, and I'm very, very grateful. So I would always just say stick at it and don't give up.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. And
Because it's
that's the
so
answer.
tempting. It's so
Yeah.
tempting because it's so difficult, and I have thought about it a few times.
Right.
But you have to push through those patches
Yeah.
because then I had a really, really difficult year between when I finished Six on tour and I
Hmm.
had a whole year of no's, of like just getting turned away at every opportunity for a whole year, which people don't. I feel like because I've been so lucky and fortunate to do what I've done since then, it's kind of just forgotten about. And I
Yeah.
did like a couple of weeks of workshop in that year through people I already knew. But in terms of auditions, it was I just was like, no, 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 no. And I was like,
Mm.
nothing's going to happen for me. And it was a whole year after doing six
Aw.
that that lasted for. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Why Am I So Single came
Yeah.
along and changed my life. So again, if I had given up at that year mark, I never would have done it.
Right. Sometimes you got
So
to get 100 no's, and then you that 101 is going to be the yes. So just keep going.
100%, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I think it was 201 actually.
Oh, well, it's all right, whatever. It doesn't matter how long, but yeah, I mean, I think that's all the questions that I had for you. I'm so excited that we were able to connect. Obviously, a big
Me too.
fan of all the
Oh,
things, so
thank you.
I'm, hoping that things migrate over to the US, or I'll have to get on a plane and come over there. Not a big fan of planes, but I will do it
Yeah.
if I have to.
Bless you.
And then just I have a funny little tidbit of information for you. I'm not sure if
Okay.
you're going to remember it, but last year I did a cameo with you, and I was the one who got stung by the bee in my bed.
Oh my gosh, no way. That's hilarious.
Yep. So I did get stung and the bee did die because unfortunately we had to kill it in my bed. But yeah, so I that was just funny. I'm like, oh,
No way. It's so funny with stuff like that, putting like face to name, because I often
yeah.
just get like name and
Just
information.
I'm like, oh,
Oh
it
my
just popped
gosh.
up on my screen. I'm like, yeah, I just got stung by a bee. This is ironic with Why Am I So Single? So I put it through, and then I was cracking up. Then I obviously knew I was going to talk to you with six. So I'm just like, oh, let me see if she remembers that, because that obviously is something random that
Yeah,
probably
that's
doesn't
very
happen often.
niche.
Unless a lot of people are getting stung in their bed. Who knows? It could
Yeah,
happen.
I know.
But
No, that's not very common.
but yeah, so that the
Oh,
full circle
hilarious.
moment here, getting stung by
Yeah.
bees and talking about six.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, here we are doing big things, right? But yeah, so I think if you have anything to add, now's the time. If not, I think that's pretty much all I have for you for today.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, of course, and good luck. Keep kind of killing it, and hopefully
Thank
I'll
you.
see
Maybe I'll
you.
see you in the US one day.
Hopefully, that's the goal.
We'll
I'm gonna
see.
put it out into the world for you.
Yeah, we're putting it out there.
Yep, all the success for you. I
Oh,
really
thank you.
do.
You
Hope.
too.
Yeah, of course, Lisa. Have a great day, okay?
You too.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.